Right outside of this one church town, there's a gold no road to a whole lot of nothing. Got a deed to the land, but it ain't my ground. This is God's country. We pray for rain and thank Him when it's falling, 'cause it brings us grain and a little bit of money. Put it back on the table. I guess how they call it. This is God's country. What is up, guys? Waiting for a few people to get in. This is a nice Friday. Can everybody hear me okay? Give me a yes, give me a no. What's going on, guys? I I yes. Okay. I very um what's up, guys? How's everybody going? Hope you guys are having a blessed day. It's Friday. You ain't got no job. You ain't got stuff to do. Now this is very, very unprofessional for me to do. So um um I'm gonna have to. I'm gonna be at the game this Sunday. That's awesome. Um, how can I explain this? Let me try to bring somebody in. Let me try to bring Cody in. You know, or Kenneth. I'm going to the game. Invite me, Certified B. Y'all hit me up on Twitter. Is Garrick Jones coming on? I hope so. I thought he was supposed to, give me a shout. Why are you number 713? Because that's just the area code. That's just the area code of Houston, Heat or Lakers. I'm gonna say Heat because I love the underdog. Let me say hi to a couple people. Hi Sam. Hi Mr. Highlights. David, Allen, Karen, Maxo, Aris, Warlock, Nick, um, Oscar. What's going on, Oscar? Aris. What's going on? Certified B. I'm gonna be at the game this Sunday. Yes, sir. Like your cut, G. I do not like my cut, bro. You're a football fan. I know y'all finna ask him some real questions, bro. What's up? What's going on, man? I needed the reason why that I need somebody to come on because I have a potential job offer. Boys, are you going? I'm not going to the game. I'm just reading the comments of some of the people. Bro, I was apparently blocked from participating in the Twitter group chat. Yeah, dude, I don't know why you were blocked, man. Okay, somebody, not me, but somebody does definitely have you blocked. We're gonna get to the bottom of this. Like I said, I have a group chat, but I have another one. It's called Flick. It is an app where it's called Flick Chat, where you could come on and it shows everything. Text, roster, how games play. It's cool. I'm gonna drop it in so that you guys could come on because it's very fun. It's better than what I expected it to be. I'm gonna drop it right now. Hope you guys are doing good. Hope you guys doing good. I put it in the live chat. So y'all feel free if y'all want to get into a group chat with me right there. I'll put it in the group chat. I put it in the Discord right here. Not Discord. The thing right here, Flick. Y'all join it. It's gonna make you download an app. But you're gonna be messing with me. So, period. Astros winning, yes. But before we get to the Astros, ladies and gentlemen, the Houston Texans are going against a team, the Jacksonville team, and the Jacksonville Jaguars are. I'm gonna say is one of an exciting team that I like. Ruben O'Brien. Please don't ever say that again. But look, this is your first game in 7 years where you do not have Bill Obrien. This is your first game where you're going to see an offense without Bill Obrien. So a lot of people are excited for this game. A lot of people are really excited for this season, and I am as well because this is an opportunity for the Houston Texans to show that they can do something. Ari said you should stream Madden. I definitely am going to start streaming Madden. What we're going to do is we're going to create a quarterback and we're going to put him on a horse team and we're going to build over from there. Houston football season is over. I don't think so. I think you got rid of the one person who is holding your team back, and that is Bill Obrien. And now you're going to see a lot of players open up. You might see the playbook even open up. You might see this Houston Texans team go out and drop a bunch of points on the Jacksonville Jaguars. And then you don't know what's going to happen with the Tennessee Titans because of COVID. Hopefully, I'm not going to say hopefully, but, they're going to might be able to forfeit a couple games or they might force them to play. But this is going to be a fun game, of fun that you're going to have to watch to really see what this Texans team could be like without Bill Obrien. We heard rumors that Randall Cobb himself got in a sort of a confrontation with Bill Obrien, telling Bill Obrien that, the wide receivers are not getting coached well enough. And then when they asked him about that, he kind of laughed. It just showed that, I heard this on 610 Sports, that Bill Obrien said that this was a veteran year. A veteran year, and the veterans are the ones that kind of got him, fired. Like, look, he got in an argument with J.J. Watt. He gets in a little confrontation with Randall Cobb. So what happened between Watt and O'Brien? So here's what I heard, that the defense was practicing, and O'Brien tells them, get off the field, per se. And J.J. Watt just says, you know what, we're not going to get off the field until we get this right. And then they get in an argument, and according to a lot of people, that right there is when Bill Obrien lost the locker room, when he was getting mad at J.J. Watt. I think he said something about the defense. I'm not sure, but he's gone now. I finally feel like I finally feel like this Houston team has a chance. Do you guys really think DeAndre Hopkins was, because here's what I'm thinking, right? This O'Brien system was all that DeAndre Hopkins knew, was all that he was in. Brandon Brooks, too. Brandon Brooks, who went to the Eagles, this was all they knew. And yet, then Brandon Brooks leaves, becomes an All-Pro. DeAndre's left, and now he's one of the highest in catching and yards. So, we still would have lost the games with Hopkins. I agree. Bill Obrien was really holding you back. At some point, coaching does affect the way you play. Why is it that Watson comes into the rookie season and is throwing 35, 40 points a game? And now we can barely get over 21. That's an issue. That's on you, bro. Quarterbacks are passing up Watson. This season, can you honestly say that Deshaun Watson is better than Josh Allen? Look at the way Josh Allen's playing. People are considering him an MVP type quarterback. Look at Ryan Tannehill. Ryan Tannehill is playing like an absolute monster. You have to put a bunch of the blame on the coach, Bill Obrien. LCB to go. What's going on, my guy? There's no such thing. What does Mr. Miyagi say in The Karate Kid? There's no such thing as bad students, only bad teachers. And Deshaun had one of the worst of them. Can you honestly say Bill Obrien goes on another team and is successful? I don't think you can. Does Bill Obrien go? Honestly, question, guys. Just let me know in the chat. Do you think he gets another head coaching job? I don't. Unless he goes into a situation where he's just going to be the head coach and there's already an established offensive coordinator. I don't think he goes into another situation and becomes a head coach. Because look at the damage he's done, right? He legit trades one of the best wide receivers we've ever seen. And yeah, we get back David Johnson, and David Johnson is nowhere near what we expected him to be. And some of that is on Bill Obrien. I'm sorry, some of that is on David Johnson. But a lot of it also has to be on O'Brien. How many times have we, as fans, been screaming at the TV, why are you running David Johnson up the middle? Why last year, when you trade for Duke Johnson, you ran more screens with DeAndre Hopkins than one of the shiftiest running backs with the ball in his hand, and Duke Johnson. And Duke Johnson still managed to be one of the leading receivers for running backs in the NFL. That's on you, bro. How is it that we as fans could come on here and legit call what the Houston Texans are going to run? Now, listen, man, I'm not going to lie to y'all, I was a B.O.B. fan. What is up, Harry and Granger? I was a B.O.B. fan. I said the problem is not B.O.B. For me, it turned out, okay, so my turning of Bill Obrien was last year in the Broncos game. After we beat the people who've been dominating us for 10 years, you beat them. And you convincingly beat them. Yes, they try to come back at the end, but that's just what the Patriots do. But that was Bill O'Brien's best coach game he's ever had in his career. So far, was that Patriots game. In all three phases of the game, offense, defense, special teams, the Houston Texans were superior. And then you follow it up with getting blown out by the Broncos. What is up, Mr. Israel? My dude, send a shout. Texans all day, everybody. Let's go. Illuminate official music. Hope you blow, bro. I love your content. I love you guys too. Like I said, we guys are our family. But going back to what I'm saying, we will bounce back and make the 7 seed. I mean, I can see that happen. Going back to what I'm saying, that was for me. And, it's just been a downward spiral since then. Romer Cornell said that this team is inconsistent, and it absolutely has. There's no reason why we should be going up and down, up and down, up and down as a team. But we're so used to that as Houston Texans fans because that's all we've known since the Kubiak era is this team being very inconsistent. Now it's our time to find a coach that's going to lead this Houston Texans team, find an offensive coordinator for Deshaun Watson, and grow. Do we hire? Oh, my voice cracked. I'm so sorry. Do we hire a GM first or coach? I say GM and let the GM get a coach. No, I agree. I think you should definitely hire a GM first, whoever it is. You have to somebody who is going to come in and really, and really want to, because this Houston Texans job is going to be attractive. People are going to look at this Houston Texans team and be like, okay, they have a weapon. Because believe it or not, guys, we do have weapons. The Houston Texans do. You just misused them. Oh, I do apologize. Having a little bit of issues. We're back on, though. I believe so. What it do, my G? What is going on, guys? What's going on? Hope you guys are having a blessed day. Imagine if Andre becomes a head coach. I do not see Andre becoming a head coach. You lagging? I definitely am. Yeah, I'm just giving myself a couple seconds to to get back to normal. We do believe that we have a router issue at my house. We kind of got to get that fixed. Is Cody coming? I don't think so. Let's see how good we're doing so far. Let me check real quick if I'm still lagging. Don't know. Definitely still lagging. Trade David Johnson. At this point, David Johnson does not have any trade value. Let's see how I'm doing so far. Yeah, so we're gonna bring somebody in because I'm not lagging no more. Mr. Harley Dugan from the league. Before I bring him in, this guy does videos for the Houston Texans, Houston Astros, Houston Rockets, even the Houston Dynamo. I don't even know who watches the Dynamo, but but people still love him. Mr. Harley from the lead. How's it, Harley?
I am doing just fine, just fine.
Doing just fine. I need to ask you a favor, my guy.
Yes, sir.
I need to take a quick phone call. I need you to take over. I want you to tell the guys why the firing of O'Brien is good for this Houston Texans team. And I'll be back.
Alrighty. So, looks like I am now Mr. 281, I guess. But why is Mr. O'Brien firing? I don't even remember his question anymore. But Bill O'Brien is being fired. Why is it good for the Houston Texans? There is a lot to get into that. He's, I mean, first of all, every fan has been coming at his neck. I've been coming at his neck. I thought he should have been fired whenever he went 4-12, and that's mostly because I wanted Kyle Shanahan. I thought Shanahan would have been a great hire for this Houston Texan team. You get him, you get a quarterback. If so, the domino still played in hand. Deshaun Watson, Shanahan. Just think of Kubiak with Shanahan. That's pretty much what you would have got. This Houston Texan team, without Bill O'Brien, looks like and should be. I need to see, and we need to see something as fans to possibly shake things up. And I understand you're not going to get a brand new offense. I understand that. Y'all have to understand that as fans. Offense isn't going to just be set brand new all of a sudden, but wrinkles, spice, something that comes in, something that helps out, something that looks just slightly different, slightly in any way. I would be happy seeing this Sunday. Again, the Texans facing the Jaguars. I mean, shouldn't be anything too crazy. Texans should take care of business with or without Bill O'Brien. I think the Texans should take care of business against the Jacksonville Jaguars. But with that being said, I think the offense is going to be something that should come into the following week against the Tennessee Titans. You might see an offense add another wrinkle as Mr. 713 is back.
Yeah, he didn't answer, so if he calls back, I'm gonna have to hop off real quick. But I mean, dude, also we're gonna have we have a special guest, Harley. The man who's been wanting to be the GM for the Houston Texans, who's been making petitions, will indeed come on the live in about 10 minutes. Now, I'm going to have to take this call. You keep on going, brother.
No problem. Okay. Well, back to Mr. 281 again. No, so like I was saying, I still think that the offense, being 1-4 doesn't prove nothing to me, and it shouldn't prove nothing to y'all as fans. Yes, you should be excited. Yes, I'm not telling you not to be excited, but if you go into Tennessee, and that's if Tennessee even plays, I don't know what the hell's going on there. Practicing in high school fields and doing all kinds of illegal stuff. Not sure what the hell's going on over there. If y'all haven't heard, they've had about 23 positive tests of coronavirus. So, I mean, I don't know what's going on there. But if you go 1-4, which you should, and go into Tennessee and beat them, there should be some hype. There should be some hype with this team because all of a sudden now you're 2-4. And if this offense does look a little different, and we heard Deshaun Watson, what did he say to Tim Kelly? He said, hell yeah. Oh, he said hell yeah. Literally said, hell yeah. I did not expect Deshaun Watson to be, I mean, that excited. I thought it was just going to be like, oh, typical, football answer. Well, okay, we got Tim Kelly. He knows he's been in the building. Me and him work together, something like that. But for him to open up the quote saying, hell yeah, just really like, okay, little eyebrow raising for me. I didn't expect someone like Watson to come out and say that. But again, if they beat the Titans and they go into 2-4 and you see them offensively possibly add a few more screens like we did in week 1. You see more of the halfback sets like you do, like you should have been promised. All the stuff that was promised, the halfback sets, the opening it up, the 4 receivers. I haven't seen a bunch formation. I don't know what a bunch formation looks like anymore. I would love to see that again. If you see anything like, the one thing that really makes me upset is disguising your plays. So I understand if you run the same play, but disguising it. If you do it out of a different formation, that can be something that you can alter into this Texans offense. But Tim Kelly, it's all going to be up to him if he works with Deshaun Watson in any way. Imagine if Andre becomes head coach. It's not going to happen. Andre, I really would like to know what happened with Andre Johnson, and I don't remember. I feel like I was told, but I can't remember about Andre Johnson and leaving the Houston Texans. I know he's interested in being a general manager at some point. If with the Texans, potentially, or I could see him like always maybe taking another role within the Miami Dolphins because he's from Miami. So, but Tim Kelly, him working with Deshaun Watson should be exciting. Again, don't expect much this coming week against the Jags. Expect more coming into the next week with the Tennessee Titans. But other than that, I mean, Rack is going to be interim head coach. Look, Rack isn't going to be the guy after this season is over. We all know that. That's not a statement I'm throwing out there. That's news. But Rack will not be here. I mean, he's just a guy to just get you into the roller coaster ride pretty much and see what happens. Rack is just the adult supervision. That's all he is. He's going to be completely blunt. He's going to be completely honest. He's an OG. He's an old man. He's 73 years old, I believe. So, he's not the guy that's going to bring anything new to this team. Now, the biggest thing with Rack is he's a borderline Hall of Fame defensive coach. Being real. Like, any way you slice it, he's a borderline Hall of Fame coach. He's got to look at this offense. He cannot tell me that we got to run the exact same thing or have anything similar to what we saw already from O'Brien / Tim Kelly. So Rack, being the eyes that he has, as many experience he has, the borderline Hall of Fame coach that he is, okay, however you slice that, he has to see this offense and go, whoa, there's got to be something different to this offense, whether it's the sense of urgency, whether it was the quick passes, like I said, disguising formations, crossing patterns, bunch patterns. You got to have something new into this offense. That's the only way I see these Texans possibly coming out of that 0-4 start, and they have it any type of outside chance of making it to that extra playoff spot. That's the spot I think the Texans are looking at, is that extra playoff spot. Right now, I don't see it being 0-4, but with the schedule coming up, you never know what can happen. Football is a crazy thing. I've seen a lot of crazy stuff happen before. But like I said, the Texans beat the Jags. They beat the Titans. It's time to start a little hype. The one game that's going to be a little worse is that Packer game. That Packer game is not going to be very kind to your defensive backs. Another thing I would like to know is about Garyon Conley. I haven't really got any updates on him. I kind of want to know what the hell is up with him. Was he more hurt than what we knew? Was he? I thought this was just a precautionary IR for him, and then he'll be back against the Vikings. I kind of want to know where he's at. But other than that, these Houston Texans, man, getting rid of Bill Obrien, Cal McNair really showed some cojones right there, man. His little itty bitty balls, man, they really grew that day. I did not expect Cal McNair to fire Bill Obrien. That was extremely surprising. As Ruben,
I'm back, and I'm not going nowhere. I'm back. I'm finally back. How's it going, everybody? Mr. Gary Jones is about to join us in a couple minutes. We're gonna ask the hard questions. I'm gonna ask him the hard questions. My Wi-Fi is so bad right now, man. My Wi-Fi is bad too. But we have a lot of things going on with this Houston Texans team, Harley.
Oh yes,
we have horrible contracts that need to be, talked about. We have horrible um, guys that we not horrible guys, but trade situations that we need to talk about.
Hmm.
Because at the end of the day, people can say, "Oh, like I want to be the GM, I want to be this," but why do you want to be the GM?
Yeah, I just want to know his credibility standpoint. Because
Yeah,
what makes him different than me? Like,
but
and
I
I
am
know.
excited though. Like I am excited
Don't.
that somebody wants to come onto the Houston Texans, sees a problem, and
Mm,
fix it. He did an interview. Well, not really interview, but he went on live with South Sports. Shout out to South
yeah,
Sports. They do it big there. And that was Brian getting fired.
yeah.
So now now it's after, now we're in a situation where that we're gonna see what happens. But Harley, I'm gonna let you go because he's back. Thank you for so much for having him on. Well, I'll have you on like probably next week.
No
Thank you
problem,
so
brother.
much, my guy.
Yes.
And we're gonna bring him on, Mr. Jones.
Hello, hello, hello. How you doing, man?
Good. How's it going?
Man, it's going. It's going. I have no complaints, man. How about yourself?
It's a beautiful Friday going on. I saw your video on Soft Sports with Mr. Honcho. That was very good.
Okay,
That
appreciate
was
that,
very
man.
good.
Nah.
Now, I think that was pre O'Brien firing,
Yeah. Like the day before, man, or
the
something
day
like that.
before. So
Right.
I have to ask you your initial thoughts about the firing of Bill O'Brien.
Well, I knew that it was really past time, to be honest with you. I knew it was coming. It was just one of those things where it was just really a build up. I knew if the team went 0-4 in this first quarter, that the chances of that happening was going to be pretty high. But I didn't realize that it was going to happen just that quickly. I thought they would at least get another game or two in and see how that went. But I mean, Cal said, "Look, enough was enough." I mean, the fans were speaking, and the fact that they didn't sell out a reduced crowd. I knew that was going to make a significant difference. So. And that's what happened, man. I mean, the fans really spoke up, and then the players said, "You know what? Enough is enough," and there you go.
Yeah. So before we keep on going, please let the people know exactly who you are, because some still don't.
Okay. Well, my name is Garrick Jones. For those that don't know me, I'm a former Houston Texan. I was with the Texans from '03 to '06. So I came in the year after the inaugural season. So I got a chance to get in on that bottom floor. Um, I'm a veteran of 3 different professional leagues. I've run businesses since the 9th grade. I've been an entrepreneur my entire life. Made it to the NFL without a senior season of college ball from the trunk of
Wow.
my car. I had to chase scouts from Little Rock, Arkansas to LA, and from LA back to Mobile, Alabama to the Senior Bowl. So it took me about a year to do that. I played up in Canada, got an opportunity to really get into some things. I'm the treasurer of the NFLPA Houston chapter here now. And I'm the president of the Huddle Up Foundation of Houston, which is the nonprofit leg of the chapter, where I'm over about 1,500 members, guys that are, former players, from all 32 teams in the NFL. So there's a lot that, I'm doing right now, but more importantly, I'm focusing on this GM push because I want to be in that position to, lead this team where they need to go, because it's all about leadership, man. So also, I'm the commissioner and co-founder of the States Developmental Football League. So
Hmm.
I've been doing a lot, man. Been doing a
Yeah.
lot, brother.
You
A
got the
lot.
pellets on the wall, man.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man.
So
Listen.
that's something that we want to see. Something that we haven't seen, Mr. Jones, is that you're really putting yourself out there. That I want to be the GM for the Houston Texans. I could
Right,
change the culture that is going on. So the
right,
real question is like, say you're the GM.
right.
We have a lot of bad contracts. The
Absolutely.
salary cap is going to be worse. Next year we have Merciless, who just got paid a boatload of money.
Right, right.
We've overplayed a bunch of players. You're the GM. How would you work in order to get that salary cap in control?
Well, I mean, you got to look at number one when you come in the door. You want to look at all of the numbers. You want to sit down with the guys that are making a significant buck, and you want to see where their heads are. From there, getting a coach in here where you're able to go back and forth with that coach and get on the same page in regards to the culture that you want to establish. Once you do that, now you start to talk with those different players and figure out, looking at trades, looking at different ways that you can be creative with that cap. We can look at restructuring contracts, those types of things. So it's all about connecting. Once you get a chance to get in there, you connect with the athletes and really see what it is that they want to do. Because some guys will say, listen, I'll take a pay cut if it's going to help the team because we're going in the right direction. It's all about transparency. It's a marriage, man. When you go in, you want everybody to understand what the direction is. What are we trying to do? We're trying to get to the Super Bowl. We're trying to win it. So once you win a Super Bowl or you get an opportunity to play in the Super Bowl, you can leverage and parlay that into more money than what these guys are getting paid, from endorsement deals and all kind of things. So me being a former athlete, I understand that dynamic and I understand how to talk to these athletes when a lot of people don't. It's just like, when guys come in and they're replaceable. I mean, I get that every year there's going to be a new crop, but ultimately we have the talent on the team to make some significant pushes. It's just getting those guys operating at 100%. But cap wise, I mean, it's all about, really your creativity, the people you have around you and connecting with the players, because a lot of these guys will say, listen, we love the direction of this thing. We'll take a pay cut to be here and that'll help us out. So it's all about the teamwork aspect.
Now, you just brought up the point about people saying that, hey, like, we love this, like, we would love to be here. But that has to first, it has to deal with culture.
Right.
You're the
yeah,
GM.
exactly.
What type of culture would you want these Houston Texans to have if you're the GM?
Well, the culture is going to be really simple, right? It's going to be about family.
Family.
Along the way, something happened. I don't know what the disconnect was, but understanding the type of leader that Bill Obrien was, that was more organizational. Me, I'm more transformational, where I'm making sure that these players understand what we're doing. And not only just the players, but everybody in the building. Everybody in the building has to have the same mentality. We're going to the Super Bowl. That is the talk. It's a win now mentality. It's not we're going to wait and this is a rebuilding type of situation. I don't use those words. When it comes down to rebuilding, I don't know what that means because those guys are professional athletes. They're there for a reason. You just have to get the best out of them and you got to surround them with the right coaches. So once you bring new coaches in, some guys who are proven, not just potential, they start to see that. And then the fact that, players tend to play harder for former players and that's how it works. So being able to understand what their workload is, being able to understand what the fans are going through and what upper management is looking at, from the bottom line standpoint, it's all about bridging that gap, man. And once you do that, everybody's on board, and that is my deal. My deal of culture will be really simple, to be transparent. It'll be about family and it's about win now. We have to have a mentality of winning now, not starting slow and making it to the playoffs and, one and done. No, we're in to win, because the moment you start talking about 2 or 3 years, you're giving everybody the opportunity to say, well, we didn't get it this year, we'll do it next year. It's not that. We got to have it. The city needs it.
The city does need it. And you brought up coach, and there's always the sexy names. There's the Eric Bieniemys.
Oh, yeah.
There's the Robert Sealers of the world.
Right.
But I want to ask you, potential GM of the Houston Texans, what deciding factors do you think the next Houston Texans head coach need to be? Because a lot of people really right now are just looking at the names. They're looking at he's the OC of the Chiefs. He's a defensive coordinator from the 49ers. What are going to be your deciding factors to bring a championship winning coach to this team?
Well, it's like I said earlier, it's a marriage, man. We gotta have an understanding, from day one. And because I'm a former player, if that coach isn't able to make the hairs on my arm stand up, he's not the right guy. He has to be able to motivate me. And if you can motivate me, that means you can motivate these players. And with me having the background that I have, that helps me in decision making. And it's all about, the communication. Is that coach able to be flexible enough to work with me? Because I'm going to have my hands in a lot of different things, just because I know what it looks like. I know what it tastes like. I know what it smells like. I've been there, done that. Wrote a book about it, all kind of different things. Started my own league. So I've evaluated and I've looked at talent and dealt with all these other leagues, from a private standpoint. It's private scouting. I've been doing the same thing that other guys are doing with one team, but I've done it with all the teams, whether it be the CFL, the XFL, the AAF. I've been in that circle. So if they're able to work with me, we got a good opportunity to make some history. But if they're not, able to be flexible enough to buy into the vision, to buy into what it is that we have, and understanding the athletes that we have, we got to reconnect with them the same way we got to reconnect with the fans. They're not going to be a good fit for this culture. So it doesn't matter who it is. I love the big names, but at the end of the day, I wasn't a big name. But I
Yep.
still got out there and I mixed it up and I did what I had to do. So they have to have those qualities, man, that I know that are going to motivate our players. And in turn, the wins cure everything. And that's what it's about.
Al Davis said it best, just win, baby.
That's
You
it.
really have a lot of people excited. You have a lot, like I had a lot of people that were like, hey, sign this petition. And I was
Right.
reading, I was like, this man is really putting himself out there,
Right.
because
Right.
like I said, you wore the red, white, and blue.
Mm-hmm.
You were there on Kirby. So when you see a team like the Houston Texans,
Right.
you see an offense led by Deshaun Watson. You see a defense that's horrible in the run game. Like, what do you think is the main cause of failure for this team?
As of right now, I think the level of toxicity in the
Yep.
organization, the lack of motivation when it comes down to buying into your leader. I've been on both spectrums. I've been on winning organizations. I've been on losing teams. And as a player, you're going to go out and you're going to play hard for your teammates. That's just going to happen. And as a competitor, you're going to go out there and you're going to compete. But when you have to rise above coaching week in and week out, it drains you. Because if that coach isn't necessarily making those adjustments, or if that organization isn't making the adjustments that you need in order to surround yourself with the right people to be successful, that drains you, man. I mean, because there's so many other factors that these players are coming to the games with, going to practice with, whether it be family life, it could be all kind of different things. I mean, you got people suing Deshaun Watson for a pitcher, right?
Yep.
So he has to come to practice with that. And then on top of that, he has to be in front of, he has to be the face of the organization. The same thing with, GMs and head coaches. But it's all about, like I say, being on the same page in order to get the best out of those athletes. Like the guys we have can get it done, man.
Yeah, I agree.
It's about connecting with them and getting them in the right frame of mind to compete week in and week out, play after play. And I think with a change of scenery, with the change of staffs and regimes, and them seeing and feeling the passion, just like with myself, if I can't motivate you to run through a brick wall, nobody can, man. And this is exactly what I'm doing every day, and I'm consistent with it. So my job is to go in and challenge those guys to outwork me and to check me if I'm not doing what I'm supposed to be doing, because I'm going to get in there. You know what I'm saying? It's one of those deals.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's a teamwork aspect. So I think just holding everybody accountable and understanding that we're in this thing together, because it always goes back to the main thing, man. Yeah.
And I think one thing that, me personally, I want a team that's going to embody the city of Houston, because in reality, this Houston Texans team does it. When you look at the Astros, we love the Astros, cheating or not,
Right.
we love the Astros.
Right.
When
of
you
course.
look at the Houston Rockets, you see James Harden, Russell Westbrook throwing the H. Those
Right.
teams embody what Houston is, and
Yes, sir.
this Houston Texans team does not, and that's
Right.
what we want, is a team that's going to be like, all right, we got H-Town, they got us.
Right. So and that's what it's about. It's about reconnecting with the fans. That's one of my biggest things, and that was before JJ even came out and said it. That was always my agenda.
Mm-hmm.
That's the reason why I got into the groups. I put my name out there, and I allowed people to take shots at me, because I wanted to meet them where they were. The level of frustrations that they had, I knew the fans were frustrated. That's why I chose to be in those groups. And I'll converse with you. I'll go back and forth with you and I'll comment, but also I'm gonna hit you with facts. When people ask me about my credentials and what qualifies me, I give them all that. And now you make the decision on if you want to get behind this or not. But at the end of the day, I'll be back tomorrow.
Yep.
And that's what this thing is about. The city of Houston has been good to me and my family. I was doing a lot of things in the philanthropic space while I was playing. October 25th, 2005, they gave me a proclamation in the city of Houston.
Mm-hmm.
I got a Garrett Jones Day, right? So it's because I love the city. I love everything that the city stands for. I love the fans. And that's one of the things where I don't want them to be fans. I want you guys to be family. And that's what it's about when it comes down to the organizational standpoint and the leadership that I'm going to bring to the table, Doc, because we got to have it. My thing is, if we're not talking Super Bowl, what are we talking about?
And I think that's the main concern with, I see the bunch of the fans they're already asking you to be, to be the GM. But,
Right.
when Deshaun Watson got drafted, we said we're going to win a Super Bowl between 3 to 5 years. And
Oh
now
yeah.
it looks like we're nowhere close in that. So
I get it.
5 years from now, say you're the GM, 5 years from now, what do you envision for this team to be? Because, there has to be an angle. You have to have a 5-year plan. You're the GM. What is your 5-year plan? Because also, you're going to come into a situation where you don't have a first round pick. You don't have a second round pick. You're going to, it's not going to be easy for you.
Nah.
A lot of fans just want to know, what is going to be your plan?
Well, the plan is to come in and teach from testimony. Right?
Mm-hmm.
I've been there and done that. And implementing that culture. Once you change the culture, you change everybody's lives. And that's what people got to understand. I understand first round picks, second round picks, third round picks. I wasn't a round pick, and I did some first round picks really bad, right? There was a reason why these people paid me. So my job is to go in here and find those diamonds in the rough where we are in the draft and bring some guys in here who are going to be alpha dogs. Boy dogs. You hear me? Like, we're going to punch teams in the face, and we're going to sit there and we're going to wait on their response. And that's the attitude that we have to have. And it'll come. It'll come. Like I say, it's more or less a situation of the change is happening. The shift is happening. So once the guys buy into that and they really understand that they have a chance and that they can make some things happen, you're going to see things happening really quickly. We're going to bring a coaching staff in here that's going to be second to none. We're going to have everything that these athletes would need in order to be successful, because we're going to put them in that position. The different guys that I've dealt with, different coaches, these guys that were able to get the best out of me, and I know that they have the players and the fans' best interest in mind. Those are the guys that I'll be looking to have, in the loop, on speed dial, guys that'll be consulting, people who have been there, done that, people who have won Super Bowls will be in that building. You know what I'm saying? And that's my deal. My deal is to have, the situation set up with the fans where what you guys are talking about, because there's some smart fans out there, man. Yeah. What you guys are talking about, we're implementing those things, and you guys can see it, and you guys will be a part of that decision process. But at the same time, a lot of these former athletes that, from the NFLPA, a lot of these guys are Super Bowl champions. Why not have those guys be a part of what we're doing? Because they can tell us how it looks, and they can mentor, right? Put the guys in a position to be able to ask questions, have those guys on the field, and they can say, hey, listen, this is what I would do, and this is how I was successful. We've never had that here. You know what I'm saying? So it was my way or the highway, or it was, I know how to do this, and you guys way. Follow what we do.
It was exactly. We kept on trying to be something that we weren't, and that was the Patriots, and we're not.
Not at all. And it's a time for us to establish our own identity. And like I say, man, I'm a reflection of that, bro.
It's getting hard not to smile, man, because this is what I wanted, dude. Somebody, honestly, because as a fan, you get frustrated because how potential this team. The potential this team has, and all you hear is every day is we need people who are tough, smart, dependable, and versatile.
Right.
And those players that he talked about were not producing on the field.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just like we need somebody who's going to come in. We need somebody who's going to listen to his players. Speaking of listening to players, how much, say, not really say per se, but how much would Deshaun Watson be an influence on the decisions that you make? Because we heard that, during the draft, Andy Reid texted Patrick Mahomes, who do you want? And he's like, well, I want, Clyde Edwards-Helaire.
Absolutely. You should include guys in those decisions, right? They should never be excluded. This is a marriage, man. This is a marriage between the fans, between the actual guys that are playing, between the former guys who laid the foundation, and with the organization itself. We are the nucleus, and it's up to us to hold each other accountable. And that wasn't happening. There was no system of checks and balances, and that's one of the first things that will change when I walk through the door. I'm holding people accountable, because when I played, they would bring athletes in to replace me every Tuesday and tell me that competition is going to make you better. Why is that not the same scenario in upper management? I need somebody holding me accountable for decisions that I'm making, because with absolute power comes absolute corruption. And that's what happened. So when you talk about the Patriot way, That's in Foxborough, man.
Yeah.
That isn't here. This is Houston. So my job is to go in here and set the tone, and you have to outwork me. I challenge everybody to outwork me, because if you can outwork me, we got a chance to be special. That's it. And
Hmm.
that's the model, you know?
And have you had any conversations with, like, Cal McNair or like anybody, really trying to put this plan in motion?
Right. Well, because I'm a former player, and I'm part of the Legends community,
Hmm.
I'm in and out of the building whenever they
Yeah.
have different things. So there's access there. But my biggest thing was to make sure that they understood and understand where I'm coming from. All the bullet points that they're looking at right now, which is the fan re-engagement, which is having somebody that can connect with the players, all these different things. I wanted to make sure that I was checking the boxes. And when it came down to experience, what I lack in experience, I will bring in passion. I will bring in people that are my mentors. I have a mentor and mentee relationship with some of the greats in the game,
Hmm.
whether it be John Wooden, whether it be Mark Dominic, whether it be Mike Tomlin. I got relationships with all these guys. So me and Mike Tomlin were in Arkansas State together. That was one of his first coaching gigs, and we've always kept in contact. So I'm able to bounce ideas off these guys, and I got them on speed dial. Because, the NFL is a small fraternity, and everybody knows each other, man. So that's kind of what the deal is. It's like Kyle and those guys, they know I'm around. They know what's going on. They're watching, and they hired a group of individuals that I believe are going to help them with the GM search. So my job is to make this thing as big as possible so they don't have to look far. And that's why I need the fans, because we can do this
And
together.
and like, you have a bunch of fans already going in. And if you see this chat and they're like, man, like, we need this guy, we need this guy, we need this guy. So
Right.
before I let you go, I'm Cal McNair.
Okay.
Why should I hire you?
Well, once again, I got a vested interest in this thing. I don't want to see this organization leave like the Oilers did. So I'm going to exhaust every resource and relationship I have in order to make sure that we hoist that Lombardi trophy at the parade. That's it. I'm going to give everything that I gave when I was here and his father was alive. And we had that relationship, Mr. McNair and myself, because he gave me an opportunity and he saw the hustle that I had inside of me and the different things that I was doing outside and off the field. And that's why I stuck around as long as I did, because he saw that I wasn't afraid of the hard work. So those are the same qualities that I'll have coming in with a lot more experience, a lot more resources and relationships. I'll be able to come in and connect with the players from day one and get them on the same page, but at the same time, be able to eat in that boardroom as well. So
Yeah.
I'm a three-headed monster, man. On the field, I got paid to do that. But you can take me out. You can take me out of 5th Ward, 3rd Ward. I'm good, right? Then you can put me in a boardroom and I'm all right. I promise you, I'm going to eat. So that's what he can expect. And the fact that I'm coming in the way I'm coming in and bringing the things that I'm bringing, in regards to fan support, in regards to ancillary programs that will change the bottom line for the better for the Texans and get past COVID, there won't be another candidate that they bring in that's going to bring what I'm going to bring, period. And I know it. And that's why I'm working as hard as I am, with these petitions and just getting to know you guys, man. Somebody's got to do it. Nobody's going to do it. You'll never have this access ever again in life.
Yeah, like I said, like, this is the first time we've seen a man just put himself out there. You got people excited, man, and I'm not gonna say I'm on the verge of tears, dude, but we care, but I care about this team that I
Right.
want to see this team succeed. Like, when the Astros won the title, my father was like almost in tears, and I was like, man, I want to feel that way. I want to see my
Right.
team, jump onto the
Right.
field and hold up the Lombardi. So, like, I really
Right.
get emotional, man, because, like I said, this is my team. But hey, you sold a lot of
Right.
people. I think I might hop on the the Garrick Jones
Please
train,
do.
man, and then
Please
let's
do.
do it.
Let's do it.
Hopefully, if like when you become the GM, I can have you back on and we can look back to here and say, hey, man, this is we made it happen.
Man, listen, if I make it in, and this is what I tell a lot of people, if I make it, we make it.
Hmm.
This is a joint effort, man. It's going to take a village to do it, but I've already done the heavy lifting. You can get behind me and understand that I have been meticulous and I played chess this entire time. The first time I announced it in March, people were like, what? But I knew that that's what had to happen. And I knew you guys had to see me be consistent because I had foresight to see that this was going to happen. And now we're in an even better place now. And I'm calming everybody down. I'm like, listen, there's not going to be any moves made to after the season in regards to hiring.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to take their time. But as they're taking their time, we need to work. And the emotions that you just talked about, you need to feel those. You deserve to feel those, man. You know, you put a lot of energy, love, effort into this thing. And for it not to be reciprocated on the field every week, that hurts. And I understand that. And I get a chance, and I do more listening than I do talking. I do more reading than I do going back and forth on the comment section. And I go through, and I promise you, out of all the different, group members of all the different groups, I mean, I just read, man. I read and I see how you guys feel. And that way I know what to address. But I also, when I do interviews, it's unscripted. I don't know what you're going to ask me because this is all coming from the heart. This is passion.
Mm.
And my thing is, if I can't motivate you as a fan to get on board with this thing, it's one of those deals where it's like it's a lot of damage there. So my job is to come through and break through those walls, peel the layers of the onion, man, and let's get to it, man, because we got to get a Super Bowl. That's it. That's all you will hear me talk about. Win now. We got to have that mentality, and that's what I intend to bring to the table, guys. So please, man, let's do it together because you won't have anybody else that they're going to bring in that building that you know personally.
Exactly. That's, we want to feel like we're a homegrown team. Like, we want to feel like we helped, like we had a say. Like we helped. Yeah.
You got it. And that's what this thing has been about. I want to be you guys' voice on the inside. You guys didn't have a voice. No. And then everybody came together. All the petitions, and I've reached out to everybody that started petitions, and they're behind this movement. So that gives me numbers to go in and talk about the bottom line with Cal and say, look, we're talking millions of dollars per game that can come in the door with me. But the moment everybody buys into it and we get the entire city of Houston behind this movement, we're unstoppable. We can do anything that we want to do, get the right players in, get the right coaches in, get myself in, and we change the whole dynamic and structure of what goes on over there at NRG. And this is what it's about, man. Super Bowl, period. This is what I'm doing it for.
Super Bowl. Yes, sir. Well, Mr. Jones, thank you for coming on. We're going to end it right there, ladies and gentlemen. I am Mr. 713. We just spoke to maybe the next GM of your Houston Texans. As always, guys, we're H-Town till we drown. You guys have a blessed